Yo, what's up everybody? Today we're going to be doing some more of the Miotsukushi Ura playthrough! Now, yeah, today we're actually going to get quite a lot because we're going to see Yamaoki's actual knowledge of what's happened to Yusuke. In other words, Tomoe's father. So, yeah, I'm really quite excited for that. And, yeah, I'm also just excited, you know, just to crash out, forget about everything that's happened today, just, you know, go into a world of Higurashi, as opposed to, you know, I don't know, just studying, I don't know, video project as well. It's really nice, Higurashi, just like, you know, as a way to relax at the end of the day. So, yeah, it's quite nice that, you know, I'm able to play this today. So, yeah. Right, let's begin this. This may be a recap of modern police history, but let's start with a breakdown of the case.
13年前の昭和45年、とある精神疾患で入院していた患者が
surprising and odd way to start it. What?
その果てに屋上から飛び降りて即死した。
God, 13 years ago in 1970, a patient being hospitalized for a certain mental illness began behaving erratically. As a result, he jumped off the roof and died immediately. God, who the fuck was this? Was this somebody connected to Lowell? Yes, I know that much. There was no shortage of material covering the case, since it was a highly topical incident that happened in the modern era. Alright, in fact, Tomoe was personally interested in the matter, so she studied the case outline. I'm actually quite surprised she's allowed to do that, because I would have thought stuff like that would be... I mean, obviously if it's, you know, a highly topical case, loads of people will know about it, but I'm just surprised that she's able to, you know, actually study the case within her free time. I would have thought some things would have been confidential, but no. And she has a very high rank, we can't forget about that. At the time, the major ruling party had overwhelming power in the House of Representatives, but was on the verge of splitting their majority due to a massive bribery scandal. Oh, right, oh god. And the distrust sown from that allowed a newcomer recommended by the opposition party to win the election. Right. A single patient's death was the beginning of the scandal that shook the political world.
でその異常行動だが、看護師や医師、それに周囲の患者に次々と襲いかかって強靭な
somebody that, you know, they've lost all depth of rationality. And the erratic behaviour included attacking nurses, doctors, and other patients around him, one after another.
幸い死者こそ出なかった。
That's surprising, wow.
というのは建前で、実際には患者が2人、その傷が元で死亡している。
Fortunately, nobody died in the incident. At least that's the official story. But the truth is that 2 patients did die from their wounds. God, so that's actually really quite surprising that this has been lied.
報道すると社会的影響が大きいと判断されている。
Oh, according to the report, it was deemed that the social impact would be too large.
一般の人々は他の精神疾患の患者たちに対して差別意識、あるいは排斥行動に出ないとも限らない。
There was a chance that the general public would begin discriminating against other mentally ill patients, and their actions wouldn't be limited to distancing themselves from them. Yeah, that is actually fair enough. I mean, obviously, if this is the case and, you know, somebody has some... Wait, so what is the significance of this person?
彼の体を司法解剖した際に、脳から異常なほどのアドレナリン、興奮物質が発見された。
When his body was autopsied, they noticed elevated levels of adrenaline in the subject's brain. That was news to Tomoe, which meant a strict gag order was put in place, even within the police force. I'm assuming a gag order is just one to modify information. Yeah, forbidding the public disclosure of info. Yeah. God. The fuck even happened? Like, genuinely.
それを受けて、その患者に処方されていた治療薬が何か、 厚生省と警察庁が主導となって調査が行われた。
In response to that, the Ministry of Health and Welfare and the National Police Agency. God, I mean, you can really just tell how big that is. But at the same time, it is fair enough because, you know, this is a clinic, a hospital. I mean, not a clinic, even a hospital, but like still, it's a hospital. It's going to be a really large and, you know, public scale if it does actually get out to the media. Yeah. Led an investigation into the therapeutic drug that was prescribed to the patient.
そしてその薬物を構成する成分配列を分析した結果、それは外資系の製薬会社によって提供されたものだと分かったのだよ。
Wait, hang on a second. So I wonder if this could have links to Lowell, and this is maybe what Yusuke was actually investigating. And after analysing the components of the drug, it was found that it was being provided by a foreign pharmaceutical company.
ローエル社ですね。
And that pharmaceutical company was Lowell Inc. Yamaoki nodded to Tomoe, then continued.
この国での認可薬には厳格な基準が設けられている。
Yeah, this country has strict standards that pharmaceutical products must meet before approval.
だが、それは審査段階で危険性を指摘されていながらも、多額の賄賂によって認可を得たものだった。
However, though the dangers of this drug were pointed out during the assessment period, it was approved anyway thanks to a large bribe.
ローウェル社は日本国内での薬剤販売を禁止された。
Thanks to that, Lowell Inc. was completely banned from selling
そ
drugs
し
in
て
Japan.
数年にわたる警察、厚生省、検察庁による合同捜査の末、それを斡旋した厚生省の薬事局の次長が逮捕された。
Interesting. So the dangers of the pharmaceuticals were actually approved just because of how much of a bribe was actually given to the people, you know, asking to approve them. All for business, of course. All for revenue, you know, just extra gain, growth, shit like that. The most unethical things you could think of. Yeah, they may be selling medicine that has, you know, visible, well, obvious defects that may kill people, but yeah, all for profit, guys. Fucking hell. And after several years of joint investigations between the police, the Ministry of Health and Welfare and the Public Prosecutor's Office, God, that's big, and the Assistant Director of the Pharmaceutical Affairs Department at the Ministry of Health and Welfare was arrested. Why are the titles just so fucking long?
その結果、輸入の窓口となっていた製薬会社の幹部、そして当時の薬事審査会の連中はほとんど辞職へと追い込まれていった。
Yeah, as a result, most of the pharmaceutical company executives involved in imports and most of the pharmaceutical affairs board review members of the time were forced to resign. Hmm.
あとはニュースなどで取り上げられている通りだ。
Everything after that is just as you heard on the news. High-risk drugs were being distributed to medical institutions and being prescribed to patients without their consent. Oh my god, yeah, because obviously these people would be mentally ill. They wouldn't be in the right mind frame to consent even if they were. Jesus. All the involvement of their families and causing all sorts of problems. Yeah, that was bad enough on its own, but the people who were in a position to prevent the problem ignored it in exchange for yeah, that's even worse, and obviously, because they've actually done this, that could have a big scandal politically. Every day and night, TV news reports were pushing for politicians and businessmen to be held accountable, and newspapers and magazines were detailing the corruption and lives of all the people involved. Yeah. Political distrust bloomed on a massive scale, and an anti-establishment movement led by students was gaining more and more traction. Oh.
でも、どうして山沖さんや私の父、公安の人たちがその捜査を？
But why were people from public security like you and my father involved in the investigation? That's unbelievable though, like especially this. Oh shit, wait, hang on a second, I forgot. I made it so my cursor isn't captured so you can't actually see what I'm referring to. Hang on a sec. Right, this. I mean, it is unbelievable that, like, people knew of the dangers regarding Lowell, and yet, you know, just because they've been having bribes, they haven't actually said it. I mean, that really just shows that these people literally care about stuff in their pockets more than human lives. I mean, that really is insane. Oh. Public security is not the agency responsible for investigating political or corporate corruption. That will fall more on the public prosecutor's office under the Special Investigation Department's jurisdiction. Oh, right. Sure, maintaining the integrity of the nation is a principle of public security, but it seemed like they were barking up the wrong tree with the Lowell incident. Yeah. It's actually quite surprising. If they're not meant to, you know, look at political and corrupt scandals, then, you know, why are they looking at this one? Oh yeah, bribes. What do you think is the greatest enemy of soldiers on the battlefield, huh? The question was so sudden and unexpected that for a moment I couldn't completely find an answer. Oh yeah, fair enough, yeah, I get what she means, yeah. But after seeing that Yamaoki's expression was completely serious, she thought it over. By enemies, you mean any threatening entity? If that's the case, I'd say weapons like nukes or poison gas. Wrong. Ooh, interesting, it's fair. For any powerful weapon, as long as you know suitable countermeasures or the means to avoid it, it's less of a threat. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, for example, nuclear weapons, you do, in, you know, the most awful political disputes that actually have nuclear weapons at their disposal in terms of threats, yeah, I suppose they know how to avoid it, and they also know good countermeasures, like, I suppose, good alternate scenarios that they can play across. But obviously, if the nuclear weapons are fired, then the whole world's fucked. But yeah, no matter how overwhelming it may seem, there are ways to neutralise it. Yeah. But once somebody succumbs to fear, that can't be undone so easily. Yeah, interesting. They become terrified of non-existent enemies and traps. Oh yeah. Or the shock of witnessing death and an attachment to life. Yeah, either way, soldiers obsessed by their fear completely lose their fighting spirit. Oh, no, definitely, yeah. Yeah, so no matter how, no matter their numbers, they're nothing more than a disorderly herd of... God, that is brutal. I mean, you are completely dehumanizing the soldiers with that analogy, but I see where it means, though. Thus, maintaining the morale of soldiers is critical in times of war. Yeah.
ならば、それを取り除いたとき、最強の兵士が生まれることになる。
Yeah, and so if you can eliminate that, then the strongest possible soldier is...
経験や性格的なものもあるだろうが、それが物理的に除去できるのであればより効率的だ。
Experience and personality are useful too, but it's most efficient to have their fear physically removed.
アルコールによる酩酊でもその近似の精神状態を作り出すことができるかもしれん。
Inebriation with alcohol can also be used to put them in a similar mental state.
他にもっと効果的な手段があるとしたら。
I mean, I was thinking maybe pharmaceuticals could obviously erase fear of people, but at the same time, like, I think that is a little bit irrational. Yeah, but if there was a more effective way of accomplishing that, what do you think it might be?
抗精神薬ですか？
Psychotropic drugs. Yeah, as soon as that thought came to mind, Tomoe gasped. She heard that drugs and alcohol were being openly used to raise morale during the war. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. Indeed, if fear can be eliminated, soldiers will literally give up their lives and rise up to confront any dangerous situation. No, definitely, but the only thing is if they do give up their lives, then obviously it's going to be so much worse because, you know, they're not only ending their lives, but secondly, you know, they're not really doing it with confidence, they're just doing it because they're so scared that, you know, they've actually surpassed fear and now they're just thinking obligation, really. In other words, he was saying that the drug in question from the Lowell incident wasn't limited to treatment of mental illness, but actually developed for military use. Now that is interesting. I wonder if Lowell links to the Alphabet Project.
まさか
No way, it can't be.
そんなこと。
信じられんのも無理はないが、
What?
我々は様々な方面から
Oh my
その
god.
確たる証拠を掴んでいた。
Believe it or not, we had solid evidence from multiple sources that confirmed it. So Tsukada, I think that's what his name is. It's not Tsuda, that's character from film. Yeah, Tsukada. Yeah, the fact that he's actually working with you know, the Ministry of Health and Welfare, who is promoting the revival of Lowell, that definitely shows that, you know, he's not only having an affair on his wife potentially, but secondly, yeah.
しかし、例えば精神疾患の治療を口実にしたとしても、実際に人間をサンプルにして、それらの薬物の効能を実験する機会は少ない。
However, even if treatment of mental illness is being used as a pretense, there are very few opportunities to test the effects of these drugs on human
さらに
subjects.
自国の一般人に協力を求めて臨床試験を行うことは倫理的な観点から鑑みてもリスクが大きすぎる。
And what's more, seeking clinical trials from the general public within the country was far too risky from an ethical perspective, therefore.
国内ではなく海外の国、それも生活水準が一定値に達している文明国で臨床実験を行えばいい。
Rather than doing it domestically, carry it out overseas in a country that passes a certain standard of living.
国内で行う実験と類似した条件下で詳細なデータを入手しやすくなる。
Doing so would make it easier to obtain detailed clinical data similar to the experiments conducted domestically. That's really quite interesting that, you know, the drugs over it. So I'm assuming this drug that has actually, you know, been given by Lowell Inc. that was, you know, making a patient completely mentally ill, so much so that they attacked people. I'm assuming that was just a reject of the drug, one that really didn't work, and obviously as a result of this person's life is literally, you know, he's going to be living in hell if he's mentally ill. I mean, you know, if you are actually facing a really bad mental illness, you are living in hell, and it's all because of this drug. It's horrible, but yeah, it's so surprising, this. I mean, that's actually really quite interesting. So, yeah, because obviously I just don't really understand why. So it's too risky to do it in their own country, so to obviously make regulation, to make themselves a little bit more disguised, and secondly to, you know, just, I don't know, make it easier to pass certain ethical standards, do it in another country, so that, yeah. A lesson learned from ancient history. Conquerors have always often used the people of their occupied territories for conducting human experiments. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, you see it in Unit 731. I mean, fucking hell. I suppose you could say, I mean, no, I can't remember if, no, because Japan, I think Japan was actually conquering China, particularly Manchuria and China, which was where the, you know, basically the death camp was built. Best way to learn the efficacy of an unknown substance is to actually use it. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. You can't. There's only so much theorizing can actually do, and if anything, theorizing, you know, it doesn't necessarily prove it's right just because you've created some certain theory that can be proved. Yeah, you have to look into it, and it's far easier to understand the results if it's being conducted on a human. Yeah, rather than some other animal with unique biology and body structure. Yeah. But that fact left a black mark on the history of human society. Easily, yeah. Even if the drug managed to save the lives of many people, it demanded a hefty sacrifice in exchange. Yeah. Thus, it's natural to face public backlash from both a humanitarian and religious standpoint when conducting medical experiments within your own country. Yeah, definitely. However, what if it's being done outside of your country? And what if the nature of warfare causes the conquered people to be regarded as inferior? The history of pharmacology clearly proves that. What? Seriously? And the greatest breakthroughs in medical science came during the Age of Exploration or the Age of Conquest. Wait, so when was the Age of... between the 15th and 17th centuries. I'm actually quite surprised about that. I would have thought it would be a lot sorry, a lot more recent, but yeah. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, this is serious. This really is. I mean, my God. Yeah, in other words, our own country was engaging with a foreign company. No, it was involved with human experiments happening in foreign countries. Jesus fucking Christ. This Lowell company is evil. I mean, they're literally developing military drugs and then, you know, obviously to test it on people to actually see if it has an effect. They're, you know, giving it to research specimen. But the only thing is, it's just so awful to think that, like, these people are actually giving their, patients drugs that are completely unethical. These people think they're going to be treated. They don't even know that they're being used as research test subjects. It's unbelievable. Yes, well, I suppose if the experiments are being done outside their country, it isn't directly their blame, and they can probably shape the blame so that it conveniences them. Yeah, you can't be serious. No, I agree, yeah, that's completely unacceptable. So I really wonder what's actually happened regarding
そう
Yusuke.
だ、冗談ではない話だ。
Yes, it's completely serious.
国益を守るためにも、そんなことは絶対に阻止しなくてはならん。
Definitely, yeah. I mean, this is fucked. It really is. Like, people literally being used for human experiments and them not even knowing that they're being used for it, and them obviously thinking that, you know, these drugs are going to treat them. They're not. No way. And in order to protect national interests, we needed to put a stop to such a thing.
そう思って、我々公安は捜査に当たっていた。
That's why we at Public Security were investigating it. Yamaoki lit another cigarette as he said that. That was his way of trying to calm himself down. Oh god, yeah, don't worry, I realised that from the look on his face.
ローエル社は取り締まりの対象となった薬物に限らず、他にも危険な未認可製剤の試験を日本で行い、そのデータを本社へと持ち出していた。
Lowell Inc. wasn't just doing this for regulated drugs. Yeah, but also other dangerous drugs that weren't approved for testing in Japan and taking that data to the head office. So what was it? The reason unapproved drugs are sent was because of just simply bribes. Yeah, bribing.
So, そして仲介の連中に賄賂をばらまき、
Oh, interesting. Yeah, so even though they've been testing loads of dangerous drugs within Japan, you know, without even having these people's consent, yeah, get an intermediary, obviously one that is very corrupt and will be paid a very good sum of money. Boom, make it completely overlooked.
明らかに買いため法、そして薬事法違反だ。
Jesus. Even though it was an obvious violation of foreign trade control laws and pharmaceutical affairs laws.
その仲介を行っていたのがとある清少だった。
If this is Koizumi, I am actually going to punch a hole in my monitor. No, I'm just kidding. But like still, I would be so fucking mad if this is Koizumi. And the intermediary they used was a businessman with political influence.
その黒幕がやったという有力な証
Oh,
拠は
right.
残念ながら未だにつかめていない。
Wait, hang on a second. Could you imagine if, you know, the drugs that are actually have been given to Nena are Lowell Inc. drugs? And I'd assume the reason they'd actually be using pharmaceuticals that are as strong as the ones that were given to her would be, for example, if you have an enemy, then you can trap them, make them feel that, you know, they're not even alive in the world. They're like a living zombie. I put it once. And yeah, I think that is a good comparison. It's so simple and childish, but at the same time, it really works.
そして今もなお、そういった未認可製剤が国内に流通している疑いがある。
And there is reason to suspect that such unlicensed drugs are being distributed within Japan, even
現金問屋を通じてな。
through cash and carry wholesale.
現金問屋を
Cash and carry? A cash and carry wholesale was a small to medium-sized wholesale store that sells goods at a lower than market prices, and you can purchase medication there regardless of if it's legal or not. What? So this is basically just Japanese corner shops. Let's be honest here. Their sources are quite diverse. Employees from pharmaceuticals companies can swipe samples and stock them in exchange stock items, then exchange them for pocket money, or the vendors can even buy overstocked items from other wholesalers. In the worst case, the hospitals themselves can be involved in the scheme. Oh, a manager or other person in charge secretly sells any excess stock of medication the facility has on hand and lines their pockets with the proceeds. And some of the drugs being traded there include unlicensed medication that can't legitimately be sold. Right.
だったらどうしてそれを取り締まらないのですか
Very good question. Yeah, it is actually really quite surprising. I mean, these shops literally are selling unlicensed drugs, and yet they haven't been sold, you know, shut down. It doesn't make much sense at all.
警察にはその権限が。
What? The police don't have the authority to do so.
無論
How the
公
fuck?
安でもな。
That's actually really quite surprising. And of course, the same goes for
薬
public
事に関して
security.
は厚生省、そして
Oh,
政財界の汚職は検察庁の特捜部と
Oh,
明
God,
確に
somebody's
区分け
clearly
がされ
being
ている。
bribed and obviously not doing a good job as a result. And the Ministry of Health and Welfare manages pharmaceutical affairs, and the Public Prosecutor's Office is responsible for corruption in the political and business world.
そしてそれらが好意的かつ積極的に協力して行動を起こしたことは
God.
ほとんどいやゼロに等しいだろう。
And the odds of them being cordial enough to cooperate are approximately, no, pretty much zero.
しかしユウスケ、君の父は何かを掴んだのだと私は考え
I
ている。
think that Yusuke, your father, managed to grab onto something.
そうでなければあんなあからさまな口封じをされるはずがないからな。
Yeah, because otherwise they wouldn't have so overtly silenced him.
私をこの書き打ちに呼んでくださったのはそれも関係しているのですか？
Does that have anything to do with why you brought me to Kakiuchi? For the longest time, anytime she asked that question, he'd dodge it. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Yamaki has literally never said this to Tomoe. All of this stuff is complete, you know, we're hearing it for the first time, of course she is as well. Yeah. For a high-ranking member of public security like Yamaoki, accepting a chief position at a local thing was like taking an early retirement. Oh. Yeah, fair enough actually, yeah. And despite being under completely different jurisdiction, Tomoe was somewhat forcibly dispatched from her position at main office to the Kakiuchi station. Yeah. She thought it could have been just a whim based on their prior connections, but the timing was far too perfect. Yeah, interesting that. And so she wanted to know. She wanted to hear the real motivation straight from Yamaoki's mouth. Oh my god! So it definitely isn't something good. I don't know, or maybe it's going to be something that's going to be really quite difficult to tell Tomoe. Yeah, it is actually really quite interesting, the timing that, you know, Yamaoki meets Madoka and then boom, Tomoe's in the same police station as her. Yeah, it is quite odd timing, but at the same time, I think we are going to get an explanation for it now. I don't really think it's going to have much to do with Madoka. Yeah, interesting. Because he's under completely different jurisdiction, I think the strings definitely were pulled. Normally the conversation would end right there. Yeah. However,
そうだ。
it does. Oh. Oh my god. For the very first time, Yamaoki said it as he turned to Tomoe and nodded. God. So as soon as she heard that, yeah, understandable, yeah. Yeah, she lost the ability to stand. Her whole body stiffened as all the strength drained. Oh my god, understandable. Oh my god, the fact that she is actually hearing this, and, you know, the fact that she's lucky enough to hear this. Yeah, in the end, she was right. Her speculation turned out to be completely true. Yeah.
ユウスケが接触していたという情報提供者がこの近辺にいるという噂を
Oh
聞
my
きつ
god,
けて
hang on
な
a second. Is that, Arakawa? I heard rumors that Yusuke made previous contact with an informant in this area.
詳しい情報をつかむためにもちょうど空席となっていた この書き打ち書の所長職を利用させてもらった。
Since the chief position here at Kakuyochi Station was vacant, I made use of it here I made use of it in order to gather more detailed information.
そして入念な捜査の結果、ほぼ確実と見込んで君を呼び寄せた。
And as a result of that careful investigation and being almost certain of a discovery, I called
せ
you
めて
in.
最後は君に手錠をかけさせてやりたいと思ったのだ。
Oh my god, that's interesting. So that is the reason. Even though completely different jurisdiction, completely different, you know, place and, you know, just occupation in general. Tomoe, well, not occupation, that's not correct. But, yeah, Tomoe was called here. Yeah, of everything, she was, but at the same time, she was firstly called here, and yeah, secondly, she was actually going to be, I think it was like a Quasi officer, like a, it was just some sort of weird fancy word for a, you know, a trainee from the elite police force. So yeah, it was firstly just because of Yamaki pulling strings, but secondly, yeah, the reason she was actually deciding to do her public security training there was, well, her, I don't know, her, you know, police training there was just to gain things here, and also so she could potentially be the person that could handcuff the person involved in this crime. But at the same time, I do find it really interesting that even though Yamaki thought this, he's never told Tomoe until now. Yamaki-san.
Yamaki-san.
Yeah, she's probably fucking shocked.
だが残念ながらその人物は君がここに赴任する直前に行方がわからなかった。
You've got to be kidding me. See, Yamaki actually knows the person who's done, you know, this deed to Tomoe's father. Unfortunately, that man disappeared just before you began your post here.
それとも危険を察して身を隠したか、それも不明だ。
Whether the informant was eliminated or intentionally went into hiding to avoid the danger, I'm still not
そして
certain.
捜査は再び振り出しに戻ったというわけだ。
And so the investigation fell right back to where it started. Now that's interesting. Interesting that the person that's actually done the crime, you know, that has burned the house down of Tomoe and, you know, Madoka and obviously everybody else in her family, her mother and dad, yeah, disappeared. I wonder if it was eliminated. I think because obviously the police would have known that these people, because these organisations probably would have had mouths within the police that would have told them everything that's going on. I think he was probably eliminated. Just who on earth was this person?
柿内空港の国際線移設を反対していた
What?
空港近隣の住民だ。
Wait, what the fuck? A resident who lived near Kakiuchi Airport and was opposed to the rerouting of international flights through
市
Kakiuchi.
民運動の関係上、とある政治団体にもつながっていたそうだ。
Oh.
公安の見立てでは関与は素人のことだ
Now
った。
that is interesting. It being connected with the White Cabinet Office, which is also connected with you know what. Well, firstly, there's the Now, I find it really quite interesting. I think that the White Cabinet Office in Kakeboshi, they actually killed Tomoe because she was getting somewhere within, you know, actually finding out what's happened regarding Lowell, and also because I'd assume the White Cabinet Office are linked to the Alphabet Project. It seemed to get connections to a certain political group thanks to the Citizens Group campaign, and public security came to the conclusion it was connected with
結
cyber.
局その男にどうしてユウスケが接触をかけたのか。
In the end, I still
今
don't
と
know
な
why
ったら
Yusuke was in
何も
contact
わ
with them.
からん。
It's no, it's
私が知るの
unusual.
はそれが全てだ。
And that's all I know. It's good of him to say. It really is
ローウ
nice.
ェル事件それを調べて父は
Yeah, the Lowell incident. That's what my father came to Kakyuchi to investigate. Though all of her doubts about why she was assigned to a position in such an unfamiliar location had been eliminated, Tomoe was now worried about a new question that arose from that information. Who was it? I mean, this guy obviously is actually really quite surprising that, you know, one person who's opposed to rerouting of the international flights in Kakyuchi, like actual internationally that airport being able to be used, is also the person who's connected with lemon Cyro political things related to citizens, yeah, a certain political group. The Lowell incident, the problem of dangerous drugs coming from foreign pharmaceutical companies was mainly involving the Ministry of Health and Welfare and relevant medical personnel, and their focus was primarily based in Tokyo. Yeah. However, the fact that Tomoe's father visited here meant there must have been something about this transaction and information leakage that pertained to Kakyuchi. Yeah, it is actually really quite odd now that we think about it. Like, why has, you know, Yusuke actually found this person? You know, that could potentially have had some really, really big influence within Lowell. But if that's the case, then what was it? And just who was involved? No, I agree. You know, it's actually really quite odd that, you know, Yusuke knows about this. Because even, I mean, this person doesn't really have the biggest political influence. Just because of him being in, you know, campaign and riot things, he's connected to this political group. It's not really... That's actually really quite interesting. So I wonder if Kakyuchi Airport was actually being used as a, you know, I don't know, just to smuggle these drugs, maybe to, you know, trade them. Yeah, the mystery had only deepened. Oh my god, no, I agree. Yeah. And she was no closer to getting to the bottom of it. At the same time, though, having more context and having an actual idea of what you're looking for, that is a good beginning. Huh. Tomoe let out a sigh, then pulled out her notebook and spread it to look out at the calendar. It is June. 1 month left. After that, Tomoe will be called back to the National Police Agency's Public Relations Office to start on another time. Oh my god, that's actually really quite surprising. So this month is when she needs to figure out what's actually happening within, you know, her investigation within, so regarding Nagisa, Reina, Hiranima, Lemon Kohe as well. A reckless project will probably end in failure. No, I agree. Yeah. She'd assume she'd be forced to bear responsibility for the failure and demoted to a meaningless post. Nevertheless, they might acknowledge her success on other cases and put her back on the promotion track. That is a fair point. Yeah. I wonder why. That's actually really quite. So you have a lot of pressure. Firstly, you have pressure to find this case out because it will literally solve the truth of your father's death, and it will actually be able to find out who's done it. I mean, we've actually got a pretty good idea. The person in Kakuyuchi that he's been talking to probably knew that father had too much information, so as a result, you know, he had to die. And everybody in the house, it seems, I mean, Jesus Christ, I think Yusuke was actually really close to uncovering a really, really big secret. Political secret as well, obviously, can't forget that. She couldn't be satisfied with that. There was no sense of accomplishments, as if she'd been involved in a major scam. Yeah, she wanted to catch the true culprit behind Kohei and Nagisa's murders and the death of Hiranuma. Though she knew it was reckless and unreasonable, that was her reason for coming back to Kakuyuchi. Yeah, I mean, God, it is reckless and unreasonable, I agree. But the fact that she's actually, even though she knows, and yet she's making a move as big as this, I mean, it really just shows that she's in the mindset of, you know, you only live once, you need to make the most of everything you can do, if you can do it, potentially. And after gaining allies and supports completely incomparable to what she had lost, oh my God, yeah, I agree, yeah. She seriously believed she'd be able to arrive at the truth. But the more grateful she was for the support and expectations of her colleagues, the more frustrated she got when she found herself getting stuck like this. Interesting, yeah, I suppose because you have more support, more expectations. As a result, more people you're letting down if you fail. If she wanted to keep pursuing her personal justice, she just had to keep moving forward in accordance with her beliefs. Accepting the collateral and retribution alone, making sure nobody else got hurt and dragged down. But when those justices reside in somebody else, you have to think about them. It is completely incomparable though, seriously. Because I mean, the thing is now she has not only, you know, the upper hand of the media, she has, you know, just everybody, even people at NRIPS, because of obviously her connections and how significant she's, her research into investigatory profiling has been, stuff like that. Yeah, no, I agree with this though. Yeah, fair. Is it right to brush that off and stick to your beliefs, or are you just doing out of complacency? I'm assuming that's just another way of saying self-interest. Anyway, I hope things turn out well. Oh my gosh, he's totally zoned out. That's funny. Yeah, that's actually quite interesting though. Obviously, it would be good if she could just accept, you know, the bad things that happen on her own. But the thing is now, it's other people's reputations that lie within, and potential lives, obviously, that lie within this. Oh, what about the medicine? Oh my God, that's actually really cool.
今後の捜査にも進展がありそうですから。
Oh my god! Now, the only thing that's really quite bad is I wonder if Tomoe will actually be able to link these. But the thing is, Natsumi, her from having not taken medicine, that's the reason, you know, she became so mental. It's not because of her having, you know, for example, taken medicine that was harmful. But at the same time, that dependence on the medicine and obviously not taking it or taking too much of it, inducing potential, you know, like other personalities, that may be an effect of Lowell's medicine, who knows. About the medicine, we received a sample from Kimiyoshi Natsumi, and if analysis goes as you predicted, we should be able to make progress on the investigation soon. Right.
そうね。
Matsuoka, from the forensics team at Gifu Prefectural Police Station, was an old acquaintance of Tomoe's from college. Oh. He was highly skilled and she could rely on him to keep things confidential. Yeah, above all, he was one of the best people across all of Japan for accurately analysing the composition of a drug in a short time. Oh.
もし精神に異常をきたすような何らかの効能があったとすれば、
Definitely.
状況は大きく動く。
Yeah, because then you can investigate where did the medicine come from. I just love that, you know, this investigation has led to so many things, like for example what happened to Natsumi, Lowell, you know, the true masterminds behind Nagisa's death. If the medication had any kind of effect on her mind, then the investigation will move forward
ゴグラの大
significantly.
学病院にも強制捜査を差し向けることが可能だろう。
Oh yeah, fair enough, because that's when she was actually administered the drug. It might even give us grounds to conduct an investigation of the university hospital in Gokura. But somehow she couldn't wipe away her listless thoughts. It wasn't enough to raise her spirits. Yeah. Plus, there was a possibility upper management didn't even want the results. Yeah, I suppose they don't really care about it. They just care about how much they can, you know, use for their own gain. So when she thought about that, she was at a loss for whether or not to go any deeper. Huh. Oh. As she sighed and turned towards the window, she suddenly caught a glimpse of a sign that read Kakyuchi Service Area 1, kilometer ahead. It quickly flew backwards beyond her field of view, but she was feeling somewhat thirsty and stuffy. So Tomoe thought about it for a moment and then turned to Hanada as he continued driving. Oh my god! Wait, hang on a second.
花田くん、ちょっとサービスエリアに寄ってくれる？
Yeah, that's really interesting because this is obviously in Kageboshi, the place where she meets a Cyro person, and obviously that person kills her and robs her car. You can't forget that. Hanada-kun, would you mind stopping at the surface area for a little while? Huh?
ああ、別に構いませんけど、トイレですか？
Sure, I don't really mind. You need to know it's the toilet.
違うわよ。喉が渇いたの。
That's not it. I was feeling thirsty. Jesus, this is the first thing you ask. No, I know it is really weird. Yeah, you just ask like, how come? And then, you know, obviously if she says she needs a toilet, she will say. But at the same time, like, yeah, she glared at Hanada for his lack of delicacy. Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Most men in the police world had that sort of indifference, but somehow it was irritating this.
ああ、すみません。ひょっとして酔っちゃいましたか？
That's actually really quite funny that he's still prying on. Oh, sorry, could it be that you're feeling car sick?
安全運転のつもりだったんですけど、俺ってあんまり運転がお上品じゃな
I
い
think
も
if
んで。
Tomoe, like one of the most strong police officers, was car sick, that would just be weird.
そんなことないって。
No, that's not so.
別に普通よ、普通。
Yeah, your driving is perfectly normal. Although, even though she had responded in a flattering manner, she was actually feeling a little discomfort from the timing of the steering and braking. Oh, right. In fact, Hanada was a car enthusiast who liked to tune up his ride. He had a license to compete. Oh shit, and was qualified as a mechanic. He even participated in circuit races in the past. Fucking... Oh my god, I can imagine this guy... I mean, obviously, he's a police officer. He has to, you know, go and comply with boundaries. But I can imagine him being very good at police car chases and speeding. But, like, let's not mention that second one. Though that made him a skilled driver, driving with him was a bit uncomfortable because he had a tendency to speed, fair enough, yeah. If she were travelling with Fujita, she wouldn't be feeling any second thoughts like this. Fair. A cynical sense of guilt rose up inside her chest. She wanted to ask Matsuoka to perform the forensic analysis on Natsumi's medication. Yeah. And Fujita was away from his desk at the time, so she asked Hanada to help. At least that was her excuse. Oh, yeah, understandable, yeah. But the real reason was that she felt a little reluctant to see Fujita face to face. Fujita-kun and Hanada-kun are not my subordinates at the moment. Yeah, fair. Yeah, no, I agree. If they're keeping things from me, I have no right to stop them. Yeah. She's probably quite reluctant to see Fujita just because of him, you know, having thought that, you know, Tomoe stopping the investigation would be a good idea. Plus, Fujita had consulted with Yamaoki because he was worried about her. No, definitely, yeah. Oh, yeah, she knew that, but she just couldn't help holding ill feelings. Oh, yeah, understandable, yeah. I mean, obviously, if you see somebody that is worried about you and then, you know, they talk to the boss, then obviously, it is going to be quite awkward because obviously you're going to probably... It's just awkward whenever you know somebody's worried about you and then you have to obviously act like nothing's happening.
とりあえずこの先は都市部で渋滞気味みたいだし、ちょっと一息ついておこうと思ってね。
Anyway, it looks like there's a lot of traffic in the city area up ahead, so maybe a short break would be for the best. What do you say? I really don't know why, but the fact that they are actually, you know, zooming in and focusing on something this, you know, seemingly and normally quite trivial. Yeah, it just kind of gives me the impression that it's just going to be anything but a short break. Anyway, it looks like there's a lot of traffic in the city area up ahead, so maybe a short break would be for the best. What do you say? Understood. Before long, the road forked off towards the service area and Hanada gently turned towards the left, and then the car slowly maneuvered into an available parking space.
じゃあちょっと待ってて。
Alright, it'll only be a moment.
すぐ戻るから。
I'll be right back. Yeah, I hope so.
だったら俺ついでに給油してきますよ。
Oh, in that case, I'll fill
10 分
up
ほど
the
で
tank.
手洗い場の付近に車を止めますから、そっちに来てください。
I'll button in the bathroom to meet me over there in about 10 minutes.
だからトイレじゃないって言ったでしょ。
Oh my god, I find that so funny that this is like Hanada cannot accept the fact that she isn't actually going to the toilet. She genuinely isn't though. I hate it when things like that happen because no matter what you say, the other person won't listen to you. I told you, I'm not here for the bathroom. I'm gonna clobber you. It was sunny today, so the area in front of the shop was crowded with families and couples. Oh right, to escape the crowds, Tomoe headed to a vending machine off in a shady corner. She inserted a 100 yen coin and then pressed the button for a can of coffee. I can't believe you can get coffee cans. Oh, and as soon as she picked it up, she was just surprised by how unexpectedly hot it was and accidentally dropped it.
あっちってホット？
Ouch. Is this served hot? Tomoe cussed at the vending machine while gently picking it up with her fingers. Yeah, I mean, fair enough, yeah. Yeah, understandable. But at the same time, like, what if it's a thing that where people, I don't know, they can't be bothered to mitigate it, you know? Same stuff. The thing that should be sold in winter all year round. Well, it was her mistake for pressing the button without checking first. But who says hot drinks in the summer?
空気読めよこんちくしょう
Try reading the air, damn it. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. It would be a waste to buy another, so she rolled it back and forth in the palm of her hand to cool it off. Oh, yeah, that's a smart tactic, actually. Don't want to let out aside, wondering if she should have just gotten some free cold water from the shop. Honestly, I think at this point it would have been less of a fuss to do so. What? What? Oh my god! Wait, hang on a second. No, wait, because if it's deja vu, then maybe she could have been remembering Kageboshi here. She suddenly turned towards the parking lot, feeling a strange sense that something was out of place. No, it was more like deja vu, so she quickly sharpened her vision. She had visited the Kakyuchi service area many times in the past, but there was something different about the scene stretched out in front of her. Oh my god. Sometime in the past, after finishing up an errand, she came here. That's right. She was sure of it. Hanada had driven her here before, and... Yeah! What the fuck? That moment. The one felt like she had been... Wait, hang on a second. What? Is this being genuine? Or is this just a memory? The one felt like she had been stabbed with a sharp instrument as she grasped for breath while holding her side. But there was nothing there. Yeah, exactly. She wasn't wounded at all, and she couldn't see any traces of anything. Even when she examined all of her surroundings, all she could see were chatting customers. Now, I find it really quite interesting. Her memories of what's actually happening in Kageboshi. They're making her really paranoid here, but that's fair enough, actually. Yeah, it's really interesting that she, as well as Natsumi, is having these memories. You know. God, that's so surprising. This is really quite interesting that she's, you know, feeling what she felt back then. You know, the stabbing, obviously. And obviously all of the pain that would have been caused from that. No. I mean, obviously she would think this, but at the same time, like, it's not. I really wonder if somebody could potentially be there. I don't know. I don't like this feeling of unease. I thought I shook her head to stave off the wretched hallucination. Oh yeah, fair enough, yeah. Then she pulled at the tab on her can, which was finally starting to feel a little cold, and drank the coffee all at once. The sweet sugar and milk clung... Oh my god, I accidentally just said MILF. That's sad. The sweet sugar and milk clung to her throat. Oh yeah, fair, yeah. Well, she felt an unpleasant odour in her mouth. Was it because of the warm texture or... Huh? Just then. She casually glanced at the bus stop waiting area as she approached a trash can. But she suddenly came to a stop and focused her eyes. There were about 3 people under the awning, waiting for the bus to arrive. And one of them was a familiar looking girl. What? Oh my god! Okay, I was just expecting Natsumi to be here. Oh, now this is definitely something I didn't expect. Why is Lena here? What? That's really quite surprising. Okay, this is obviously going to be just something. I think this is just going to be something really quite trivial. Like, for example, I don't know. What can I see? I don't know. She wanted to go to this lemon. Wait. don't know, the udon noodle store. That literally says potato. Why do they just have a sign that says potato? Samami. I have no clue what that means. Yaki? Roast something? I don't know, but just maybe she wanted to go to one of the oh, there's a restaurant here, it looks like. Oh my god, anyway though, I'm really getting sidetracked. I wonder what Lena is actually doing here, because it does seem kind of weird, like Lena coming to Kakiuchi and then, yeah. That's so surprising though. I mean, obviously this didn't happen in Kageboshi, but like still, it really has gave her, I don't know, just sauce. Let's just say that. Hang on a second, so she's with 2 people. I wonder who she's actually with. The side of her face was obscured by a beret-like hat, and her shoulder length hair. What is a beret? Is that just the name of the hat that she actually has? Oh right, yeah, it is actually really quite similar. Not too similar. I always imagined this had to be something that a sailor would wear. That was the girl she met in Hinamizawa half a year ago. Ryugu Reina. Yeah. Well, why wouldn't she be? I mean, this is just any sort of random, you know, street place, of course, that, of course, she would want to be there. Yeah. It doesn't really have any bad intent. You know, her being there. Tomoe quickly hid herself in the shade and then assessed the situation. Yeah, today was Sunday. Students are off today, so it's not that unusual for them to go somewhere. Yeah, exactly, yeah. But they not appear to be alone. No, that is actually quite interesting, that. I mean, yeah, the fact that she's, you know, going this far, and keep in mind she's only like 13, 14. Maybe, nah, probably 14 or 15, I'd assume. Like, it is kind of weird that she's there alone. Well, but at the same time, maybe she could be meeting friends. There are loads of rational and normal explanations you can think of. For a girl her age, it would be strange to be travelling to a completely different prefecture without her parents, or at least some friends. No, I agree actually, yeah, because this is a different prefecture. Yeah, no, I get what she means. I mean, she must have really had to, you know, do some hard work to especially get out of Hinamizawa, a really quite rural place. Maybe she went to Okinomiya, sorry. I don't know, left her bike somewhere, got a bus, and then went there, who knows. Oh. Yeah, the moment she could see a highway bus pulling into the bus stop. Upon seeing that, all the people in the waiting area rose to their feet, and Dana followed suit, lining up behind them. Yeah, what should I do? Yeah, be as much of a creep as possible. Yep. I think that sounds fun. But the only thing is, your workers won't, Hanada won't actually know what's happened. And then he will think she could have potentially gone missing. And then complications will definitely be created. What should I do? Should I get on the bus and following her? Thinking that, Tomoe turned towards the parking lot by the bathroom. But unfortunately, a long haul truck was parked there, so she couldn't see anything beyond its huge frame. It would be convenient if Hanada was parked over there, but if he was still refueling at the gas station, it would be a huge time sink to go let him know. Yeah, alternatively, she could get in Hanada's car and follow the bus from behind. But considering the road conditions, there was far too great of a risk of losing sight of them when other cars merged in between. Yeah, fair. Yeah. The bus would stop at a minute for a minute at most. She had no time to second guess herself. Right, I wonder what she's gonna do. Oh yeah, good one, yeah. Tomoe suddenly came up with an idea, then rushed to a nearby public phone and dialed the number for the Kakiuchi Station Information Center. Hello, you've reached Kakiuchi Station. I love that this could just be some of the most trivial things. Like, for example, maybe, I don't know, she could be going around a shop for a day, just wanting to Get out. Yeah. Oh my god.
警部の見ないです。
This is Chief Inspector Minai.
走行中の19号車の無線に
Yeah,
連絡を
contact car number 19 by
見ないは
radio.
売店で参考人らしき人物を発見。それを追跡して高速バスに乗車。
Tell them that Minai spotted a key witness at the shop and is currently pursuing them via a
追っ
highway
て連
bus.
絡すると。
And that I'll be in touch. Yeah, yeah. Roger that.
よろしく。それじゃ。
Thanks, over and out. Tomoe quickly said that, then hung the receiver without waiting for a response. Yeah, good, yeah. Don't waste time. The information center should be able to contact Hanada over the radio when his car. Yeah, good one, yeah. And she should probably apologize to him after she gets back to Kakyuchi Station. No, but the only thing is, it's fair enough. This is important. It could potentially be small, but it could potentially be big. I don't know. Will she turn back towards the bus stop? Oh, lucky. Oh my god. Because you imagine if the bus was actually leaving. Because I was under the impression that because they were lining up. Well, I mean, they were lining up for the bus. It doesn't necessarily mean that there is, you know, a bus there. But yeah, when she turned back towards the bus stop, the bus had just come to a halt and the automatic door swung open, welcoming the passengers inside. Seeing that, Tomoe carefully approached the back of the line, making sure they know what to notice. Yeah, good one. Then stepped up the ramp and boarded at the last moment.
どうしたのかな、ミナイさん。
Wonder what's going on with Minai-san.
19号車ならミナイさんと誰が乗ってるんだっけ？
No! Don't tell me she's forgot! She's in car 90 with, who was it again? The operator took a look at the dispatch table and then dubiously tilted her head. The name Minai was listed there, but the investigator supposedly accompanying her. Shit! Wasn't written in
こ
there.
ういうところすごくきっちりしている人なのにね。
Even though she's supposed to be such a thorough person.
これ書いたのミナイさん？
Did Minai-san actually write
いえ、
this?
違いますよ。
No, that's not right.
確か男の人で、誰だっけ？
No, that's not right. I'm sure it was a man, but
と
who?
りあえず無線つなげばわかるかな。
Oh, shit. Anyway, I guess we should try making contact over the
こちら
wires.
柿内署情報センター。
This is the Kakyuchi Station Information
19号
Center.
車応答せよ。
Car number 19, please come in. What? The fuck? What? Hang on a second, what the fuck has happened? I kind of get the feeling that Tomoe is going to see something that is definitely going to shock her mind. The fuck? Why was there a fire? You have got to be kidding me. Has somebody actually done a gas fire? No way. Has Hanada died? Oh my god. There are a lot of questions that just from that one image I am getting. No, but this is really, really bad because this means the secrecy of the investigation could potentially be at risk because now the operators and obviously the word of mouth will spread. The word of this investigation that's being conducted on secret will spread. Yeah, no, that's actually really quite interesting because obviously... Yeah. Yeah, definitely though, that's the thing, because obviously there are no subordinates that, you know, she actually has authority over in this case. It's a completely secret case, but obviously she, as a police officer, has, you know, gone to instinct. She's completely forgot the secrecy of this case and has unintentionally leaked it. highway bus had departed the Kakyuchi service area and was proceeding towards the city at a gradual pace. After exiting the highway and proceeding through a few town areas, they arrived at the bus terminal and then transferred to a downtown bus. However, Tomoe was in a hurry, so she neglected to confirm where the final stop was. Yeah, it's really quite funny. This, you know, it's going to be quite hard to get back and obviously organise her schedule. Yeah, Tomoe sat down in the far back seat and hid herself while listening to the direction of the front seats. Yeah, then I was sitting close to the middle of the bus with her back turned this way. Good. Yeah, it was hard to tell since her head was hanging low, but she probably wasn't aware that she was being followed. However,
どこへ行く気なんだろう
where is she going? Yeah, no, I agree, yeah. After all, this is a long way to travel for a shopping trip. No, I agree. I don't really think you'd be travelling this far for a shopping trip. But think about it. For example, I don't know, like me travelling, I don't know, it's like 3 hours, something like that. I don't know, really, really far, basically. To Westfield, for example. We did that once. So, yeah. I mean, even though it is a really, really big shopping trip. And really long to go for just a fucking massive shop that you will never get anywhere else. This is not sponsored, by the way. But, yeah, it is a long way, but at the same time it is worth it. Maybe then I was doing something like that, I don't know. And when Tomoe first spotted her, she wasn't carrying any bags other than a small purse. Yeah, it can't be then. Of course, Dana had her own unique hobbies like hunting for treasure with that mountain of garbage. Yeah, of course she knows that, yeah, so maybe it was normal for her to be doing things alone. But according to Tomoe's earlier investigation, and based on what she heard from Oishi, she should be strongly opposed to leaving Hinamizawa. That's actually very true. It is surprising that she is. But at the same time, we do see her in Okinomiya, so she does leave Hinamizawa there, but it's literally next door, so I don't know if that applies. No, it doesn't apply. Given that, there must be a compelling reason for her to voluntarily travel outside, but no, I agree, it is weird.
そういえば
Come to think of it. Oh, what's she thought of? Yeah! Tomoe suddenly remembered the assault Ryugu Dana committed back in Ibaraki and gasped. She was a well-behaved girl with good relations with her friends, but underwent a sudden change and attacked them while rampaging through the school. Connect the dots together. Yes, it is actually, yeah. That's very interesting. No, it isn't actually, because the thing is, Natsumi's change was very, very sudden, whereas Dena... No, is that really, really true? Maybe Dena could have had a really quite sudden change, and then, maybe due to just, I don't know, having, for example, not taken medication. But the thing is, no, the thing is, if she was really mentally ill after just all of a sudden, she wouldn't have the medication. Obviously, it'd get worse and worse, and then she'd need really, really strong medication because of how bad it has gone, and then once she has the really strong medication, she'd be constantly fed it because the symptoms would just keep on coming back, and then it would just be a constant cycle of it getting worse. That's what I'm assuming happened. But I don't know, though. A very sudden change, yeah.
この薬を飲みすぎてからなんだか自分じゃない自分が私に話しかけてくるようになって
Obviously, Natsumi wouldn't actually be... Sorry, Tomoe wouldn't actually be able to know this because of, Leno's thoughts only being visible to her, and obviously us because we've read them, but yeah, it's more herself and more internal stuff, especially more Hinamizawa syndrome related stuff. But at the same time, maybe Oyashiro-sama could be, another personality, I don't know. Or a hallucination of something. Maybe Oyashiro-sama could have never been there, who knows. When I took too much of the medication, somehow I found another version of myself talking to me. Yeah.
さっきまでその子に体を乗っ取られていたんです。
Like I had taken over my body, yeah.
その子、私の本当の心を暴き出してくるんです。
Like I lose my true heart revealing
みんな
itself.
壊したい。
Yeah, I wanted to destroy
みん
everyone.
ななかったことにしたい。
Wanting everyone to be
気に
gone.
入らないこと全部消して、邪魔する奴はみんな殺して。そして。
God, erasing everything I don't like, killing everyone that gets in my way, and... Fucking hell. God, yeah. Natsume didn't seem like the sort of child. Yeah, definitely, yeah. To lie to a vague blame, even if it's only halfway true, there's no doubt the drug had an impact on her mental state. Yeah, definitely, yeah. Just like Natsume, Reina was from Hinamizawa. Yes. So it wouldn't be strange if she'd undergone medical exams at the Gogura University Hospital as well. Yeah. In which case, was there a chance that she was prescribed the same medication as Natsume? I wonder. Then what if Natsume and Reina's anomalous behaviour had the same root cause? Yeah, that would be interesting.
証拠はない。
Yeah, but at the same time, that's true too. There's no proof of that.
確かめる価値
It is, yeah, because obviously, firstly, they can find, you know, if they actually win this investigation, they do find something potentially wrong with their original prescription methods, then, yeah, Gogura are going to be in trouble, and they are going to be able to, you know, have a real exposure. Yeah, eventually the bus exited the highway and pulled onto the major city road as it entered Kakuuchi city even. And then an automated voice announced the next stop where the bus was heading at that moment. What's happened? Huh? Tomoe's eyes opened wide in shock and she barely managed to suppress her voice. No, you've got to be kidding me. Has Adena noticed her? Or maybe she's realised something. Who knows? Because the location of the terminal was
ここって
here. Oh, is it just because of how lackluster and how uninteresting it was? Tomoe was the last one to get off the bus and she felt pain as she looked around the terminal in shock. Oh, now that is really surprising. Oh, yeah, she's totally going to get sauced from this. I mean, obviously, I don't see why Dena would actually be going here. It's just out of complete coincidence. But at the same time, Nagisa literally lives around here. I wonder what she's actually trying to do here. Maybe she's just trying to see, Nagisa see, you know, her. Maybe she doesn't even know about the... No, she does know about the death. I remember, you know, Hajita and Hanada actually saying that they had told Nena the news to see her reaction for the investigation. Yeah, she can never forget this is the town where Nagisa lived. She pays a visit to her... Oh, God. Yeah, understandable. Yeah, she paid a visit to her bereaved family after her death. That's so nice of her, but she couldn't even speak properly at the time. She could only clap her hands together praying for the soul of the departed. And she tried visiting again a while later, but they had already moved. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I mean, obviously, if their daughter is, you know, murdered, of course they're not going to be wanting to stay in the same place that she's been killed in. Fucking hell. Yeah. She was easily able to find out where they moved to, but it felt like the bereaved family had given their reply to Tomoe and the cohorts, so she couldn't say anything more. But this is the bus terminal. There was no major shopping centre nearby. Yeah. At best, there was a park surrounding a castle, but... A castle? Wow. But she, likely didn't come here to see that. Yeah. I don't really see why anyone would want to see that. I wonder what she is actually trying to see here. It is quite odd. In which case, there was only one thing she could think of.
なんで
But why
今
now?
さら
Dana should already know that Nagisa has passed away. Yeah. Oh, maybe it could be. Yeah, maybe. Then did she come here to pray for her at her grave? But that conflicted with the story she heard earlier. Hanada definitely went with Dana before and he said,
特になしです。
not very strongly.
無関係を装うというよりも無関心って感じでしたよ。
It's more like she was genuinely apathetic to the news rather than just pretending it had nothing to do with her. What? Showing or feeling no interest, enthusiasm, or concern? What?
無関心
That's so weird. I thought she was really quite. I thought she'd really been, in a grieved
せめて
state.
たたりにあって殺されたんでしょとか、いい君だってな感じに反応してくれたら、こっちとしても名目が立ったんですかね。
At the very least, she could have responded with "they were cursed" or served some right to put on some pretense.
そうなんですかだけだったら返す言葉なしです。
What? This is her friend. But all she had to say was, "Is that so?" I really found it interesting. Maybe it's just because of.
今時の子供ってのは転校した
Yeah, I
ら
know.
前の友人のことなんて
No, that is so
忘れちまうものなのかって。
No, but the only thing is maybe.
正直呆れちゃいましたよ。
Firstly, maybe none of this makes sense because you remember when Nagisa, like, the day before Nagisa actually dies, or one of the days before, she actually does have a conversation with Lena, and it is a decent and happy and nice one, and they do make up, so they obviously have remembered each other. But to think that she had a friend, maybe it's just because of how many bad memories her life actually had. She just sees anything that's there, I don't know, as some sort of threat, so as a result she wants to completely forget about anything. Because of her wanting to forget about something, she doesn't really care if it's gone. But I don't know, it just still sounds ridiculous. That does not sound like somebody with Nenos, heart and character. Doesn't sound like something they'd have. It's weird. If that was how she acted when first informed of her friend's death, what made her change her mind now? Yeah, I agree, yeah. Was there something big that drove Ryugu Dana to this decision? Or maybe... Is this it? I found the address plate posted on the corner and made sure the letters matched up exactly as I heard them, then let out a sigh. This is the Denos point of view now, interesting. This area was full of expensive homes that would have been completely unimaginable in Hinamizawa. Even when I was back in Ibaraki, I haven't seen many houses like this. Oh, so Nagisa's a rich person. The asphalt looked recently paved and had a nice smooth surface, and the neighbourhood association must be doing a good job cleaning up because there was no trash to be found anywhere. It was like a scene cut off right out of the television, like a completely different... Wow, so this must be a really highly developed place here. There was no scent of grass in the air, and the cries of cicadas had a strange sound to it. No, I don't think this weirdness is this town's fault. It's just my heart making it feel that way. I carefully checked the address numbers one by one, and finally located the house. It was a beautiful two-storey house. It felt so excessive that it put extra weight and strain on my whole body. Oh. Fuck off. Hang on a second, what? I couldn't find the nameplate. Still, the address written on the gate definitely matched what I've written on my notepad.
とうとう来ちゃった。
I'm finally here. Looking the place over once more, a shiver ran from my head to my toes. My knees had no strength left in them, and my legs felt like they were being oh god! A bloody odour erupted from the back of my throat. Oh god. Shit, so I'm imagining that, you know, obviously from this really quite intense reaction, she is feeling grief that, you know, she should have been feeling beforehand for Nagisa. Yeah, tears were about to come spilling out of her, relaxed even a little, so I blinked my eyes over and over while gritting my teeth. This is the house where Ozaki Nagisa John lives. Interesting. I think, well, yeah, I felt like turning back so many times before I got here. I'd be bothering them if I showed up without letting them know ahead of time. Oh my god! So Lena doesn't even know? What? I think, I kind of get the impression that, is that so? Yeah, she's probably thinking that Hanada has actually prank called them. Yeah, just how many times did I start to make that excuse before swallowing it down? However, this is something I have to do myself to set things right. I press the doorbell. They might not be home, or maybe the bell is broken. Such a dishonourable means of escape came to mind, but before I could fully take shape, this front door swung open. And the person standing there was... Huh? Oh my god! Yeah, no, I know! No, because it is really quite weird. Oh shit, so she's actually going to visit Nagisa, you know, just because I think, you know, she was talking about, you know, making up everything and, you know, doing it because she felt a duty to make things up and, you know, make things necessary and fix misunderstandings, you know, repair their friendship really and just apologise. Yeah, but she does not realise... What? So Tomoe really has, you know, landed on a really good note here. It was a middle-aged woman I didn't recognise at all, and she must have felt the same way because she was suspiciously looking back to me.
ここって尾崎さんの家ですか?
Is this the home of Ozaki-san?
いいえ、うちは畠山なんですけど。
You have got to be kidding me. What? So the Hatakeyamas actually... That's actually really quite interesting. So the Hatakeyamas... I mean, obviously, yeah. You can see it from this Yama, and then I'm assuming that's his Hatake. Hatake. I wonder what that means. Obviously, Yama means mountain, but like, I don't know what Hatake means. But anyway, yeah. That's really quite surprising that they moved in to replace Nagisa's lot. Oh, I'm sorry. I felt embarrassed. At the same time, I also felt relieved. No, but the only thing is, this is the right house, though. Come to think of it, there were plenty of times I ran into the same problem with houses in the city.
じゃあお隣は尾崎さんですか?
Then does Ozaki-san live next door, huh?
ええ、以前はそうだったわね。
Yes, at least that used to be the case. Used to?
引っ越しちゃったのよ。
They moved away.
もう半年になるかしら。
Yeah.
今は誰も住んでいないわよ。
They've moved away. It's been about half a year since then, and there's nobody living there now. Yes, she doesn't even know. She doesn't know why. As soon as I heard that, I gasped and froze. They moved, and it happened half a year ago. Yeah, I find it really quite interesting that she's seeing the connection here. Yeah, because then... Now, it's actually really quite interesting. I think they moved the second, you know, Nagisa died because they obviously didn't want as much stress as possible from, you know, people constantly asking them questions, and also just because of, you know, potential things that this may cause regarding grief. It's such a simple word, and yet I really forgot what I was talking about just then. then Nagisa-chan isn't here anymore.
渚ちゃん、尾崎さんはどちらに引っ越されましたか？
Do you know where Ozaki-san moved to?
さあ、
Oh,
ごめんなさい。急に出て行かれたから聞いていないの。
It happened so suddenly, I never heard.
そんな。
Can't be. I was stunned and it felt like all the tension had finally snapped. So I collapsed to the ground with no strength left in me. Oh my god, yeah, fair enough, yeah. Oh god. Oh my god, I know, that must be so overwhelming. God, I tell you what's even worse, she doesn't realise what's happened. And could it be that Nagisa-chan moved away from here because she didn't want to... No! I mean, of course she could have assumed that. Then why? Why? Huh? What's this? Which way did I go? And how far did I walk from there? I couldn't remember. Oh, god, that's awful. She's in a total state of grief here. Yeah, before I realised it, I found myself sitting on a bench in a park. I wonder if Tomoe is actually going to come to Nena and tell her the news. But at the same time, how would she know? Like, yeah, it'd be pretty fucking creepy. Yeah, the street lights faintly illuminated the ground and I could see a cluster of beetles behind. Alright, I couldn't hear any human voices or any other signs of people. Oh, all I could hear was the rustling of leaves in the wind. Maybe because it was nice and sunny in the daytime, the air right now felt sickeningly warm. Oh yeah, fair.
渚ちゃん。
Nagisa-chan. Oh my god, how the fuck is she gonna react when she's realised the truth? I spoke just that name while spreading out the crumpled paper I've been holding in my hand this whole time. Oh, I called all the middle school teachers and classmates I could think of. Because he's actually talked to her middle school again. That's so surprising. Desperately pleading with them and finally managed to get Nagisa-chan's phone number. My fingers were shaking. Oh god, yeah, my fingers were shaking and I wasn't sure if I'd even be able to dial the number. But Nagisa-chan answered the phone and then immediately felt silent when she realised the person on the other end was me. Oh, it's the parents. It's not Nagisa who has answered. Yeah, and obviously because Nagisa's parents, they're never going to want to talk to Nena because of how much she's done to them, really.
レイナ？
What the fuck? Hang on a second, what?
レイナなんでしょ？
Lena, is that you? What? Wait, hang on a second. I'm seriously confused. This is fine. This can't be recently. No way. What? Crumpled. Could potentially be older than as a result of it being crumpled. Now that's really interesting, that. Yeah. This has got to be half a year ago. Lena, is that you? Yeah.
本当？
Yeah, oh my god. So this is going to be really quite interesting, seeing the conversation that Nagisa actually had with Lena, you know, after Tomoe had actually inspired her to, you know, seek her, go to Hinamizawa. And this happened before she'd actually done so, though.
本当にレイナなのね？
It's really you, Lena.
うん。
Yes, me, Lena.
私、レイナ。レイナだよ、渚ちゃん。
It's Lena, Nagisa-chan. Yeah, oh my god. Yeah, definitely. Fair enough. Yeah, it had been so long since I'd heard my old name. Yeah, that's understandable. I didn't want to be called that anymore, so I became Ryugu Lena. The I and... Yeah. The I and the name remind me of icky, ugly old scars. Yeah, I mean, my god, yeah, fair. But it had a nostalgic tone to it too. Hearing it from a voice I could never forget. So the depths of my chest started to heat up and my eyes were getting moist. Yeah, my god, yeah, I felt like I was... Oh yeah, fair. I felt like I was about to start sobbing. Oh yeah, that is quite awkward, yeah. I can hear it. The sound of Nagisa-chan's... heavy, painful breaths came in from the phone. Oh god, yeah, shaking my eardrum. Until just a little while ago, she was a friend I could talk to about almost anything. No, I know! Yeah, and obviously, just a little while ago, that shows how recent the situation is, yeah. We go on all, sorts of topics for hours and hours on it. Our parents got upset with us for talking so long on more than one occasion. And isn't it just so sad to think that a friendship that good, and obviously that long lasting as well, completely screwed, and yet right now, yeah, no words came to mind. I couldn't move my lips. That was the only thing she could muster her courage to say. Nagisa-chan kept quiet, waiting for me to say something. Even though she could easily hang up the phone. Yeah, she was still listening, waiting for me to speak up. Interesting that, yeah. But what should I do? Is there anything I can say? Yeah, interesting. Long time no- Oh god, yeah. I'm sorry. Or I was beginning to regret my hesitation and impatience, and while thinking I shouldn't have done this to begin with, tears felt... Oh god, yeah. So they'd just been spilling out, just then. Oh, she's actually breaking the ice. Helena. Oh, nice, yeah. It was so calm. It was the meek, gentle voice of Nagisa-chan that I always loved, and it softly resonated, filling my heart. That's really nice, then. Yeah, I'd like to meet you. Oh, that's so nice of her. That must have really touched Lena's heart, especially because of how much guilt and obviously how much, how much of a brilliant friendship is just completely, awkward now. Yeah, I'd like to meet you. Would you like to meet at the top somewhere? Huh? Sorry. Understandable, yeah. There were a lot of things, so many things to talk about, and I can't speak well over the phone. Yeah, then I want to meet with you and talk with you. Yeah, I want to see your face and talk with you again. Nagisa-chan. Yeah, Reina, you're living in Hinamizawa now, right? Yeah, I live in Omaki. Have you heard of it? Yeah, there's a bus I can take to get from here to there. Yeah. Oh, yes, you must just be so nervous. Now, that is actually a good question, yeah. It was because of Tomoe, but still, yeah, it is actually quite odd that, yeah, how does she know where I lived? That was a ridiculous question. I'm sure Nagisa-chan asked people about it and found out just like I did. Yeah, fair. Oh, that's understandable. Yeah, the tears I had been holding back finally came spilling out. Yeah, Nagisa-chan had felt the same way I did, even though I did such terrible things and hurt her. She was betrayed by her best friend. But she didn't forget me. Oh no, I know, it is just so surprising that, Elena has done some of the worst things. She's literally done, I don't know, something that a fucking murderer would do. But at the same time, like you said, I did actually see that this was, an attack that was totally mentally, motivated and, wasn't the true Elena doing it. And I think she just really keeps hope in Elena. Just because of that. She may be angry, she may hate me, and she might be resentful. Yeah, I mean, my god, it's such a tricky situation, and it would really be difficult for everything to, be made up. Yeah, but that was fine, I was happy with that. I tore myself apart and, oh, yeah, and trampled on myself. The original Yugu Dana that I cast aside and threw it away was The one that Nagisa-chan always remembered. Yeah.
ねえレイナダメかな
Hey, Dana, would that be no good?
私たちもう会えないのかな
Oh god, you can just hear how hurt she sounds. Do you think we shouldn't meet up? No.
そんなこと
Not at all. Yeah, in fact, the opposite. Was she really sure she wanted to see me again? No, it's just genuinely surprising. It must be so shocking for Nena, like the person that she's done such bad things to. You know, obviously a best friend, so it obviously hits a lot more. But yeah, the fact that this best friend, she's done quite a lot to her, and yeah, she's still willing to put all of that aside. She still sees the old Nena, the one before the catastrophe happened, and yeah, as a result, they want to meet up. Yeah, I mean, she wants to meet up with her. Yeah. Yeah, I was confused with a mix of happiness and fear. Some mouth frozen, I couldn't put the thoughts into it. Oh yeah, understandable, yeah. I mean, obviously, this is on the phone, she can't really see her facial expressions. A little bit more tricky, yeah. I felt thankful, I felt frustrated and hesitant and restless and bewildered, preventing me from putting it into words. Oh yeah, understandable, yeah. My god, she's really just going through a complete bomb of emotions here. It was disappointing, sad, and shameful. She feels frustrated at herself and obviously the fact that the friendship has, you know, that she's done this. It's got to a point so bad that, you know, she's actually had to feel these things and these really, really surprising things. Yeah. It's so surprising that Lena is actually wanting to get back with. Thank you, Dana. What? The fuck is... What is she doing? Seriously? I think she's really spotted that Nena is a person that needs this kind treatment. She really, really needs it just because of how vulnerable and, you know, weak she is. Because of her mental state, obviously, being prone to really, really bad catastrophes. Though I was being cowardly, Nagisa-chan spoke up first and conveyed her kind-hearted feelings. It makes her tears, yeah. And yet I don't even deserve to receive her thanks. Interesting that she thinks that. Even if she held a grudge and blamed me as much as possible, she'd be in the right. Yeah, no, definitely, yeah. I don't even disagree with that, yeah. I mean, obviously, if she, for example, assaulted Nena because of a grudge or something like that, she wouldn't be in the right for that. But, yeah, she would be in the right for, you know, a lot of the grudge that she would have. Yeah. And yet, Nagisa-chan, for my sake, all for someone like me. Oh, God. Yeah, that's understandable that, you know, she is finding it really difficult. Yeah. God, she's so fucking kind. She really is. I mean, it must take so much for not only Nena, but, you know, Nagisa too. Oh God, she really... Yeah, the tears wouldn't stop. Why'd I try to forget my kind-hearted friend? No, I know, I do... Yeah, that's understandable, yeah. It's because she's, you know, she's just so scared to face up to what she's done, yeah. Why couldn't I be more trusting? Why couldn't I open my heart and speak up? I was afraid of being hated. Yeah, understandable. So whenever I thought I was being hated, I refused to accept that fact and ran away. Yeah. But Nagisa-chan waited for me. For a vile coward like me, she defended my original place and even cherished it. Yeah, interesting that she thinks of herself as a vile coward. She really doesn't, see any hope in herself. That's so nice of her, though, seriously. Yeah. Then head up your way next Sunday. Can you tell me some place we should meet? Oh, no way. I should be the one coming to you. Nagisa-chan, I can't make you go to the trouble of coming all the way here. She's so fucking kind. It's for your sake too, Dana. I'm sure you'd be more comfortable. Do keep in mind that without Dana, her boyfriend would be alive. And yet, obviously he's died. It's so surprising this is actually happening. I'm sure you'd be more comfortable meeting and talking at a place right? So please. Yeah, let me do this. Nagisa-chan. Oh, yeah, she really is quite... Yeah, emotional about this. Maybe Nagisa-chan had heard about my family situation and my illness from somebody, and that's why she was being so insistent. I think you could just tell in, the intonation she actually spoke a lot of her words in. Yeah, she's definitely trying her hardest to, appeal to Nena, be as nice as possible, be as, soft as possible. Just as she said, I really was afraid to defy Oyasura-sama by leaving Hinamizawa. Yeah, even though the curse had passed, there was always a chance it could come back again. Yeah, and I mean, Tsumi Horoboshi. Yeah, and what's more, with Nagisa-chan pressing the attack that directly, there was no way to refute. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. Thinking that, I suppressed the guilt, tormenting me, and replied, yeah. Alright, see you then. Yeah, I have a lot to talk about, but we'll do it when we meet again, okay? Yeah. Yeah, then the two of us exchanged addresses just in case. Oh yeah, nice one, yeah. And then ended the call. Even after the call was over, I held the phone to... Oh, God, that's fair. Yeah. Yeah, however, when the scheduled day arrived... That's weird. Nagisa-chan didn't come. No, because the thing is with, yeah, she did actually meet up with Nena in Kageboshi at least. No, sorry, Tokihogi. Wait, what? Tokihogishi, I'm thinking. Yeah, I thought she did. No, because Nagisa was actually going to tell Tomoe about, how good the meetup went and obviously how good the phone call went. But she never did. Well, she never did because Tomoe hadn't, realised the urgency and obviously hadn't answered. That's weird, though, the fact that she never actually came. So she's probably been noticed speaking to Nena here and as a result has been killed. Oh my God. Oh, that's awful. So, obviously being in such a time of desperation and need and then just having this, a failure for her to respond. That must have hurt. That really must have. Especially because of Nena and how much of a connection she has. And after that, no matter how many times I called, oh shit! But the only thing is that's really quite contradictory to what we've actually learned, because I would have thought that, you know, when the police officers actually said that, you know, Nagisa had died, she was like, I mean, firstly, she's visiting here today, so she didn't believe it, and secondly, yeah, she was really dismissive. It's odd that. Just doesn't really make much sense. I suddenly raised my head and took a look around. There were people around here and there just a little while ago, but I could no longer hear anybody. Nobody was here. The hands on my glow-in-the-dark watch told me the time. It was already late enough I'd normally be in bed. Yeah. I wonder if there's a train nearby. The highway bus leading to Hinamizawa was no longer in service at this hour. Oh god, that's a nightmare. Yeah, it might even... She really needs to get a move on, because obviously if she doesn't, then her father's going to be scared, and secondly, it could be likely that she's going to have to stay the night in the city or something like that. I don't know, maybe she won't get sleep, and that would be bad for school. Maybe it might even be last call for the train too. A taxi might be the only remaining option, but if I were to call one this late at night, rather than giving me a ride, they'd probably report me to the police. Oh my god, that's understandable, because maybe she could be a druggie. Just then. Oh, good evening. Now that is interesting. I'm really surprised that Tomoe is actually revealing herself to Dena here. Oh god, that's horrible though. So, you know, she's never actually received a phone call. So I think it's just from the police. I think, firstly, she didn't realise it was a police member. Secondly, she was paranoid. And thirdly, it was a prank call in her eyes. So as a result, she didn't really pay attention. Yeah, I think that's why. And obviously, because of her, I think this is most likely because when she was actually, you know, knocking at the Hatakeyama house, she was believing that she was going to make up, you know, the past mistakes. Glow in the dark was it? That's fucking cool. I never knew Lena wore a watch, by the way. Now that is interesting! A voice called out from behind the trees, and I turned back. I saw a woman in a red suit walking towards me. I carefully peered at her, feeling suspicious, but since she was a woman, I didn't feel particularly scared. She could still be a fucking criminal, come on. Still, it was natural to be cautious around strangers calling out towards you at this time of day. Yeah, oh my god, I agree. Yeah, long time no see. It's been about half a year. Sorry. Oh god! Who are you? Yeah, Minai Tomoe. You don't remember me? Oh, sorry. That's really interesting that she doesn't actually remember this. Oh, that's actually really quite surprising. No, I do find it really quite surprising that, you know, Lena hasn't actually remembered Tomoe, and yeah, that is odd. Because if she hasn't actually remembered her, then that could be likely that, you know, the state that she was in, that, you know, it was actually really quite abnormal, so this would support, like, judging by her normal personality, it really would support this, but, you know, the fact that she's potentially got a really bad level of the syndrome just from the paranoia she's gained from seeing Tomoe, and obviously that threat to her happiness and stuff like that, like we see in Tumi Holoboshi, for example. I think that's where the paranoia started, and then obviously that led to, you know, what happened, like her nearly strangling Tomoe in the phone booth, and also her, it's very brave of her, by the way, to, you know, start a conversation here. The woman's eyes were open wide and she looked a bit surprised. Based on that reaction, could I have forgotten her? I'm sorry. Oh, could you tell me where we met? In Hinamizawa.
この柿内
Yeah, and also in Kakiuchi.
レナ、この町に来たの今日が初めてなんですけど。
Oh, now that is interesting. So my theory was right. Tomoe had actually hallucinated Lena to, you know, be at Kakiuchi when, you know, she literally tried to burn her car down. That was the Mountain Dogs. That is my conclusion right there. Yeah, my intuition was actually kind of correct. I mean, I thought it was Lena, but I didn't entirely. So that's my justification for saying my intuition was correct. Alright, I just want to check something. Oh, so we have barely anything left. Okay, yeah, I'm glad I checked that. Right, words are making me feel more and more suspicious. Yeah, I'm so interested into what this is going to be. Oh my god. I mean, fair enough. But the only thing is, Tomoe is actually admitting she is going to have to admit defeat here because, yeah, her words are making me feeling more and more suspicious. Even if she was just pretending to be an acquaintance, it's weird that she knows I'm from Hinamizawa. Oh, wait, this is the other one. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, of course, yeah. Understandable. It's so surprising that she doesn't remember a single thing about this. No, wait, could she be...
警察庁広報室の警察官
I'm an officer from the Public Relations Office of the National Police Agency. Yep. Huh?
いえこう言った方がよくわかるか
Now,
も
maybe you
ね
understand it better if I put it another way.
元茨城県警の
Yeah, oh my god, yeah. Oh my fucking god, that is the worst. So then obviously having a gut punch after, you know, not even realizing that Nagisa is there. She's moved ever since that phone call happened. Could have essentially been a betrayal or something like that, I don't know. She hasn't really contemplated much, but that would be the thought I'd assume she'd have. Yeah. Suddenly, a skin crawling chill. Yeah, ran down the nape of my neck. Understandable, yeah. Before I realised that, my feet were trembling and a cold sweat was running down my forehead and along my cheek. Yeah, fair. Oh my god. I don't blame her. A detective? Why? What does she want from me? Yeah, that is such a good way to end it. Yeah, now this is going to be interesting. We're going to pick this up tomorrow. And I'm assuming we're going to see a lot of stuff. Holy fuck. Oh, this is going to be cool. Yeah, maybe not tomorrow. Maybe the day after. I don't know, but yeah. Ooh, it looks like we're going to switch perspectives quite a bit here. Oh my god, man, I'm excited for this. Today was really quite fun. I loved learning about Lowell. Lowell has always been really quite strong here. It's always been a really quite strong thing. It's really been interesting. It's been a nice thing to learn about. And obviously, yeah, it's been really quite interesting thing to realise, like, why Tomoe was actually sent here. Just because, like, you know, she was sent here from Yamaoki for Yamaoki to actually get somebody that, you know, will truly arrest the perpetrator. Obviously, she's the one that deserves to do it the most because of she obviously, it was her obviously having the biggest effect from, you know, the deed the perpetrator did, which was killing the father of her. And yeah, it's interesting that that was the reason Yamaoki had conveniently made her transfer there. And yeah, it's really quite nice just to see oh my god, that stuff with Nena and Nagisa as well. And, you know, Oh my god, it's really weird. It's really irregular. Those irregular memories from from Kageboshi. Those are really quite interesting. And also, oh my god, I really wonder how the whole Denna stuff is going to develop. And I also really wonder, you know, what's just going to happen regarding, you know, Denna and how she learns about Nagisa's death, because she is going to have to learn eventually. Yeah, it's just awful that she doesn't know, and obviously, I think she, you know, thought that police call about Nagisa having died was just complete nonsense. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting. I think we're going to be in for quite a lot. I'm just so surprised that, you know, there could potentially be links with this medication and, you know, the delirious acts that they've actually committed. It is so weird that Tomoe doesn't actually remember. Sorry, Lena doesn't actually remember Tomoe. Yeah, it's going to be so cool. So, yeah, I really wonder what I'm looking for tomorrow. I think tomorrow we're going to be looking for a really, really cool conversation with Lena. And by the way, I also wonder, before we go, how Tomoe, and if she's actually going to be able to discover the truth of the incident at Lowell and what her father was actually getting a lead on. I really wonder, because he must have been killed because he knew something that could have potentially had really big government influence. Because if, you know, for example, unregulated drugs were being sold at massive scales that weren't even approved because of bribes, then yeah, of course that's gonna, you know, have really, really serious influence. If he found something like that, then, or if he found something that would, you know, blow the secret away, then yeah, that'd be even worse. So yeah, I'm really excited to find out. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, see ya.